Let's bring in our guest for this hour to discuss. Joining me is National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar. Michael, what are you expecting with this hearing? Do you think that there's going to be any mitigation? Do you think that the defendant will change his story and address the court?
You know, I don't think he would. He seems kind of more of like a narcissistic type of person, and there's way too much animosity in that courtroom between him and the other victims, you know, the mother of the child. From this trial, I believe that the judge was always perturbed by the facts of this case. I think that the judgment of the jury was just, right? They didn't come at the top charge. They came in for aggravated manslaughter. Now, he does face up to 30 years in jail in New Jersey, right? But because he doesn't have any other kids, I think the judge will be heavier on the sentence. I think also because of the fact that he's a younger man, I think the judge will be a little bit heavier on the sentence for that as well. If he had other kids, the judge would be lighter on the sentence in order to not deprive the other children of access to their father. But also in New Jersey, the problem for this gentleman is they have a law called the No Early Release Act. So whatever the judge renders, he's got to serve at least 85% of his sentence before he's even eligible for parole. So he's facing up to 30 years in jail, minimum of 10 years. I think the judge might come in at 15 to 20 years. I would not be shocked if he came in at 25. However, you know, at the end of the day, from that video, while jarring as it was, I think a judge could sit back and say, this guy wasn't trying to murder his son. So I'm not gonna throw away the key and send him to jail for 30 years. But I think the judge will cut it down the middle. I think the judge will come in at 15 years, which means this man will be serving 85% of that in New Jersey.
Well, there was a lot more than just that video. I think that just shows that there was abuse in his household, but there was also a lot of the bruises that people are talking about, and also the pictures on the mom's phone and stuff. We have to put a pin in it right there. We have to get in a break. Still with us, National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar, as we're waiting for that sentencing to get underway there. You know, you hear from people for the victim, but it's all one family in this case. And then you sometimes hear mitigation people that are addressing the court and saying, please give lesser time because my loved one. Which side do you think this guy's going to be on?
That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. Courtroom demeanor matters. It matters a lot. I mean, it's everything. I always tell my clients, look, courtroom demeanor matters before a jury comes back and even after a jury comes back. The judge needs to see your demeanor, right? If you're convicted of something, then your life and fate are in the hands of the judge, right? So courtroom demeanor matters. So you saw the emotion by his father, right? He looks like his father. His father comes off as an excellent person, as a person who's truly traumatized. That matters, right? If everybody in the courtroom that's related to the person who knows more about the person than anybody else in that courtroom comes in and says he was a monster, that's different than if everybody comes in and says, hey, this was the best person on earth. I'm remembering the sentence by that character who helped, you know, Murdoch steal money from all those people. Everybody in that courtroom was crying in tears. We love this guy. He's the best guy ever. He went down a bad path. That mattered, right? It always matters. So on what side do I think the judge will go? He had a lot of time with this defendant. He saw him every single day of trial. He saw his demeanor. He saw his, you know, his presence in that courtroom. But the judge also is a parent. And he saw the parent basically suffer and suffering to see what happened to their grandchild and what's going to happen to their son now. That's got to tug at your heartstrings. So I think it's a tough one, Matt. I don't know, but we got to see more. We have to see everybody's. And we know the mother is going to come in with blood dripping from her jaw, and she wants him to go to jail for the rest of his life. She wants, you know, she wants the death penalty if it were up to her. But we have to see how many people come in favor of this defendant.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, you know, he's facing 40 years behind bars, but what do you think that the judge will do in this case with no priors?
The number 15 sticks at me. I don't know why. It sticks at me because, again, because of that No Early Release Act in New Jersey, and because this judge knows that this is a young person, he's going to serve every single minute of that sentence. The number 15 just sticks at me. From my experience of these cases, 15 seems to be where these judges come out at. I've spoken to judges off the record on other cases that they're not on, and I'll ask, hey, judge, what do you think this person is going to get sentenced? And every judge comes in right away and says, if it's not a high-profile case and there's no priors, this person's going to get the minimum, right? But if it is a high-profile case and this person does have priors, this person is going to come in and they're going to get closer to the middle of the top sentence, because also you have to worry about appeal. If the judge comes in at 40 years, this thing's coming back on appeal. So the judge is not going to go anywhere near 40 years. I think this judge is going to be at 15 years.
Michael Jaafar, thank you so much. And you're a busy man. People trying to get a hold of you right now while you're on TV. We'll check in with you in just a little bit.